Give me a lust.
Give me a lust. Give me a lust.
Give me a lust. Research department.
Holy shit.
Research department.
I don't even know how to do this anymore.
I tried to dust. I gave up.
I gave up. I mean, there's a lot of shit in here. So to dust it all
I put more shit in here. You see, I got a mop. Got like my O-Cedar.
Yeah.
Not a sponsor, but if you will, I guess I can clean my house better then.
Yeah. Well, we don't record enough to have sponsors. We're trying to fix that. I swear to God.
I don't know how to get a sponsor.
Listen.
I mean, we'd have to be more consistent.
That's the first thing. The first step would be that.
I got them all. I knew most of these.
We got it. Well, like I said, I only forgot like 2. So we're gonna jump through a lot of the preamble stuff just because it's been a while. We got some shit to talk about. But I suppose how you been?
How's your mom and them?
How your mom and them? Shit. I would blame it on life. I would make a lot of excuses, but we've been doing that pretty much all year. So I'm just not. We fucked up. We're terrible podcast hosts, and we got to get better at that.
I'm exhausted.
Well, yeah, but same to a degree. I haven't slept great since Florida, if I'm being perfectly honest. So
a year ago.
Yeah. That was the last time I got really restful sleep, and I know why. It was ice cold in that room. It was dark as fuck in the corner the beds were. Yeah, I felt sorry. Ice cold. All right. I felt bad for you. Matter of fact, Jess said that the last night that we were there, even she was freezing her balls off.
I wore sweats, a sweatshirt, and socks.
She said she had 2 sweaters on and was still freezing her balls off.
Yeah, because someone put it to 63 degrees in her room.
It wasn't that cold on our side. I think the lowest I put it was 68.
I think that little one broke the fucking thermostat and got it somehow down further.
It very well could be.
Because it should have never got to 63. 65 is still bad.
The amount of condensation on the windows to those rooms. But yeah, no, I haven't. I haven't slept great since.
Well, we didn't go there again, so.
No, we did not.
We went somewhere else this time.
So we're going to talk about that.
We're going to talk about
So we went to both of the main horror events, I guess you would say. They're kind of, there's more than there used to be.
Wish we could have gone. I want to go to Hayride, but.
I want to see how different it is versus when we went during COVID, because I haven't been.
You've never been?
No, that was the very first time I'd ever gone to that.
Oh, well, it was a lot of fun when I first went before COVID.
So I mean, never been to it outside of COVID. They have.
Well, the Dodgers are in the World Series again, so I can't go.
That's true. Again,
I can't go.
And they're up 2-0, so go Dodgers.
Yay, me.
That was crazy to watch, but I shouldn't say that. She didn't get to see it. So.
I didn't get to see that.
Which is funny because I wasn't even really watching the game. I happened to be at a place where it was playing, so I mean, I was kind of Heroes. I was kind of watching it, sort of. We'll talk about that later.
I'm just kidding. I don't really care that much.
I know you don't, but that's also why my week ended on a high note. So, but it was there.
Yeah,
it was on.
Hopefully there was on all the TVs.
Yeah, there was a lot of noise.
Although that day, Game 1. Mm-hmm. Had so many events in LA.
I heard it was like the opening of the Lakers season.
Yes.
Of course, the World Series. There was some other shit going on.
A football game.
Okay. Yeah, so LA was fucked.
I actually think there was 2 football games.
I genuinely feel sorry for you if you live in that city.
That day specifically.
To be fair, I generally feel sorry for you if you live in LA. There's a fuckload of shit to do, but there's also 20 million people that live there, so it's hard to get around.
What the fuck did I record that there's 14 items?
I don't know. You had the camera on your titties.
I did, and that's where the mistake was made. I have learned.
We had every good intention of actually filming content while we were at Horror Nights, but it was 140 million degrees that day.
Also benefited us. Completely honest.
To a degree.
Completely honest, it benefited us.
To a degree. Because if it hadn't have been for an RIP tour, it wouldn't have mattered.
Correct.
But it also took away from some of the stuff because it was so fucking hot in the houses. So I know there was stuff that was not happening. There was probably less scare actors because of how fucking hot it was. It was hot as shit in those houses.
It was hot. But you know what? They still did great. And I still got scared.
It was...
I'm just glad that we didn't have
it was funny because yeah. So, I mean, I know that was one of the things, but we had somebody in our tour group who was solo, which was kind of funny.
Which is crazy to think about now what she told us.
Right.
And then find out what happened.
Right.
In the nuts.
Yeah. Bonkers. So it was...
that girl was nice.
No, she was. We'll talk about that.
We'll get into it.
R.I.P. tour. Now, it was different. I don't want to necessarily, different. Yeah, like drastically.
Although I think if we go next time, if we do it again, because we could always just go. I know you don't want to go backwards, but we could always go backwards, just down a step.
Yeah.
I think what we do is we find out how we can request certain tour guides.
Yes,
because that one guy we first talked to was nice, and I bet he was really good.
That was the big difference. So that will be the one downgrade that I will say about RIP tour here versus the experience we had in Florida.
See, the one we went to in Florida really did not set us up for success because that used to be a scare actor that was Jinx the Clown.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing is it's kind of marketed that way. Like you're getting somebody who has an in-depth knowledge, and our tour guide was nice.
Our tour guide was nice.
I'm not saying nice. I'm not like shitting on the lady. It was just we had a really
had expectations.
A different experience the first time, so went in with very much similar expectation of okay, now that we've seen, because we were going in blind with the RIP tour in Florida. We had never done it, so it was like okay, let's go check this out, see what it's about. Yeah, hopefully it's the same.
We saw other people's RIP tours in the same park.
Yeah.
So when we did ours, we kind of knew we were getting a backstory.
Right. That
I've never looked at the RIP tour here.
Yeah.
Thinking it was going to be the same thing. We never actually got.
No.
I don't think we ever got a story.
We did not ever. And that's the one negative thing I will say. Because again, nothing against the tour guide herself. She was great. She was nice. She actually, they don't really explain, or at least she didn't, I guess, kind of explain the whole rundown from Jump Street. Because, you sit in a little room, the tour guide comes up to you, they, give you the spiel or whatever, and they ask, so what do you know? They ask a question about like, so what are you here looking for? What is your interest? Whatever. But they don't say that in the aspect of, let me know specific things you want to do because that will affect our itinerary for what I want to do.
Right.
So it wasn't like, hey, do you want to go make this a part of the experience? Because if you don't say you do, then we're not going to go over there. So, I will say OnePlus, she did get us into Super Nintendo World very last minute. Like they were literally 5 minutes from closing the whole thing down. Got us in there, got us on the Mario Kart ride. I was able to ride it, which was great. And so, I mean, all kudos for that. It was just, I was expecting a very similar experience that we had in Florida, which was
we did not have.
You got to go like to backstage areas and see some of the scare actors getting their makeup on. Every house before you went in, they would pull you to the side and go through like the finer details of it, the backstory of it.
I guess that would have been
all of those things. And then you go into the house, you come out. So I mean, like there was a whole storyline involved when we went in Florida. This tour guide was drastically different in the aspect of, okay, guys, huddle up. All right, we're going in. And then on top of that, she didn't go in 3.
She didn't go most of them.
She didn't go in 3 of them for sure. And listen, I'm just prefacing this with saying I'm not judging. I'm not any of those things as someone that was raised in a church. But she quite literally said, I'm Catholic. I can't go in there. I wasn't raised Catholic, so I don't know how strict that is, but you were.
I went in. I went in twice.
So anything to do with so she didn't go in Ghostbusters. She didn't go in Insidious.
She definitely did not go in Insidious. She although I think she said that one was the scariest, and that's why she really didn't want to go in there. It's because she said she was a chicken, which I find funny because our last tour guide went through everything with us. I don't think she didn't go I don't think she skipped a single one.
No, she didn't. She went in every single one of them, and she even got jump scared a few times.
Yeah, because they accidentally scared her instead of us.
Right. So that's the one thing I will say. Otherwise, the experience as a whole was comparable at the very least. On the whole, was comparable at the very least as far as like the buffet experience.
Had a great time in that part.
That was the food was good. Bars, and the one difference between here in Florida is here you still get express pass after your tour's over, whereas there you don't. So I mean, there were good things about it.
There was good things about it, yeah. We could just go right
Not
through.
that we needed it because again, it was 120 fucking
still
degrees.
used it.
We did. But it was nuts. It was the deadest I've seen it on and I don't know if the heat was part of it.
It wasn't, yeah.
There was fires. It was a Sunday. I don't know what played into it more than anything, but it was hands down the emptiest I've seen one of those events for years. So that was nuts. Now, on to the houses.
Yeah, let me get them up.
So
Sorry,
we're going to do something a little different. Usually when we talk about these, we just, mention the houses, talk about, this time I thought, well, since I think we're going to be two opposing sides to this, not opposing is the wrong word. We're going to have different opinions on this as far as like ranking the houses, things of that nature. Personally, I think we are. So what my thought process here is, we're going to start with the one that we thought was the worst out of the ones that they had and work our way to the top. And I'll say mine, you'll say yours, and we'll just go down that
The
way.
worst?
Yes. I want to start at the bottom of the list.
Okay.
Mine was immediate. It wasn't even a question. So
I think what mine was going to be.
Because I will be completely honest.
I'm gonna be shocked if we have differing opinions here.
I don't know that I will. Just because. Now, I will preface what I'm about to say with this. Me going to these events.
Right in the face.
I clearly don't go to these events to be scared because it doesn't work. It would be nice if it happened. I've caught a couple of very small jump scares just because they were unexpected. But unfortunately, because I've been going to these things for years, I tend to see them. Matter of fact, I'm critical occasionally where I'm like, that would have been a good place for one. But perfect example, when we were on the RIP tour, it wasn't even on a house. It was coming back from one. So we're driving through the backlot area. They stop in this like dead ass.
Oh, that was terrifying.
Empty ass, like dark driveway.
That would have been a good opportunity.
And I kept, because of the story he was telling. So he's telling this story. The tour guide that was talking wasn't ours. It was one of the other groups because there was two of us in the thingy, trolley. And so he's telling the story about this dude who's flying a plane. It runs, I don't know if I can't remember if it was like he was doing stunts or what, but
it was a stunt gone wrong.
It ran out of gas. He tried to land it there and he jumped out. I'm not saying it wasn't true. It had to have been true because there was no reason to say it, but I thought it was a setup. So I kept expecting something to drop, like a body to just drop and the lights to go up and a loud noise. Like I was expecting something and nothing happened. And I was like, well, that was just...
I think I know what you're going to say.
Anticlimactic. But I don't go to these things necessarily to be scared. And I also am aware of the fact that I went... My whole mood this year was different because we went so big last year. And then coming back here and it's just like the first house they announced, I'm like, really? This isn't going to be a good year.
Well,
so
I know exactly what you're going to say first.
That being said,
lame.
I still agree with what I said before. This year was not that great.
I liked it.
I enjoyed myself. I had a good time, but that's always more dictated by who is with me. I always have a good time going to these things with you. If there's more people there, great. If they're, the right vibe and everything else, and they were. So, I mean, it was a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, this year was not.
Good times were had.
Was not that great, in my opinion. It's not the worst one I've been to. The first time I went to Horror Nights was the worst one I ever saw. But this one felt very similar to that one.
Oh, boy.
So.
Oh, boy. That
being said, yes, you're 100% correct. Dead last in my list of the 9 things, if you include the Terror Train, was fucking Ghostbusters. That was god fucking awful. Yeah. That was awful. Tell me one good thing about that house outside of the little fucking Stay Puft Marshmallow guys. Tell me one good thing about it.
I like the big old villain with the big old head and the horn.
Okay. But
That was pretty cool.
wasn't fucking scary.
No, it wasn't scary. It was more funny. I
And-
think that house was meant to be more funny than it was scary.
Okay, but this is not an event for that. I'm sorry. It's just not.
Oh.
It's not. You can have funny things about it, but that whole thing was my biggest gripe about Horror Nights the very first
And
time
you
I
would
went.
expect that house to be cold? Because it was called
Because it was
Frozen
the Frozen
Empire.
Empire. It was not. It
It was hot as shit in
hot as
there. I
shit
was like,
in there.
this is the... What
You
is
go
this, the
into an
6th ring of
area
hell?
where there's ice everywhere, and it was yeah.
It was god hot.
So, which is funny because we've gone. They had The Shining a couple of years ago, and when you walked into the fucking
Hedge maze?
the hedge maze, it was fucking freezing in that spot.
I think we went that year.
We did. So
Together.
we did.
Yeah.
So yes, Ghostbusters was 100% dead last. It felt like I haven't seen that movie. I feel like I watched the movie. Like that was what all of the houses were when I went the very first time.
Oh, okay.
It was like just walking through a movie. Here's this scene. Here's this scene. Here's this scene. No real jump scares, just set pieces. So it was just like all the jump scares were quite literally not anything like it wasn't, or the ones that I witnessed, let me put it that way, were not any ghosts. It was characters from the movie going, hey, look out. Like that's all it was.
Yeah.
So it was just, yeah, dead fucking last.
All right. Well,
You can't tell me you liked all of these equally.
no.
Okay.
But now I'm kind of stuck in between two here.
Well, I will say this much. For me, I'm not saying this is
I was
you.
trying to watch these videos back, but it is not playing for me.
No.
To see if I remember liking it or not.
For me,
I think I laughed a lot.
the bottom, well, yeah, but again, that was more because of who we were with. And then that one person that was solo, she was hilarious.
She was hilarious. She...
So, like, they ended up
Especially
teaming up through most of the houses.
Because the first house we went through was Insidious.
Yeah.
And her and I just went through, just was like, I rebuke you. I started it. She
just
jagged
kept- yeah,
it.
just
So
kept
we
on
just kept
going.
going back and forth.
But I will say this. So you're saying you're struggling. The bottom three for me are interchangeable
okay.
to a degree. Ghostbusters is still the worst one, but it's not much better going up from there.
I think the Terror Tram was not that strong.
Yeah. I agree. It
I had fun
wasn't.
on it.
It was fun.
Because I liked our little part that we did.
I think the RIP tour exclusive stuff could have been better.
Yeah.
It was literally just photo ops. It was funny. I'm not saying it
I
wasn't.
liked the black phone guy.
Yeah, he was great.
The grabber. The guy that was the grabber
he was
a-
great.
awesome.
He was definitely the most engaged. The Purge one was dumb.
The Terror Tram was Enter the Blumhouse, which was all the Blumhouse.
Yeah, so
I'll
like-
give you details about it.
Megan.
Characters have taken over the Terror Tram, faced the murderous android Megan, the grabber, and more. So it was Purge, Megan, Black Phone, Happy Death Day.
Yes. Which was like a blip.
Yeah, it was just a small chunk. And we did miss some Megans. There were not all the Megans were out.
Which again, I think a lot of
Had to do with the heat.
yes, I think a lot of the stuff that we missed out on was because of the heat. Had we gone when it wasn't so hot, it may have been slightly better.
We could still go again.
I'm not paying the fucking money it cost to go in the last week. You're out of your fucking mind.
Pussy. So there was that one. And then Ghostbusters, yeah, I'd put that pretty low. I did, and then I would put The Weeknd.
So my bottom three are Ghostbusters, Eternal Bloodlines, and The Weeknd.
Eternal Bloodlines.
Eternal Bloodlines was so every
I
year.
like the story on that.
I barely even fucking noticed it.
You didn't catch it?
No, I was paying attention, and it was still just like, like there was no. I don't know.
Well, let me tell you what the story was.
I know it was the Bride of.
Get caught in an epic battle as Saskia Van Helsing and the Bride of Frankenstein go up
Yes.
against Dracula's daughter and her monstrous mavens, featuring music by Slash.
Yes. So, in my
I liked
opinion,
it.
the last couple of years, the Universal Monsters houses have been very strong, like top three for the last couple of years. This was the first year that I went through. I was just like, "That's it."
That's all.
That's that. Like, okay. Like, and again, following the story, I get that, but it was just like, what?
Yeah, and then she takes her body back, and then
Yeah. And it wasn't just, I don't know, it just didn't execute, in my opinion.
Okay.
But those were my bottom three.
All right. Well,
So then, and again, mostly interchangeable. Right after that was Terror Tram. And more of that was just because Black Phone made a big part of that better.
he did.
The Grabber made a lot of that
Grabber
better.
was
Just the
funny.
whole experience with that. I liked some of the set pieces. So like right before, you always go up after you go past the Bates Hotel, you go up the hill. To the plane crash.
Yes.
And
that's all where the fucking Purge is.
That set piece that was right there with the Hollywood sign and the Purge.
Yeah, that was neat.
That was dope. So there was a lot of really cool set pieces there. The scares were good. Like the areas that they chose to do them, the people that were there, all of that was executed fine.
Yeah.
But it still wasn't, it really didn't edge out the bottom three by much, but it was, in my opinion, better than those three. The Weekend, I still don't know why they keep bringing that one back.
I know we missed some of the descriptions here.
I know we missed the first one that came through, but
and I heard that one was the best one.
Yeah, but after going through it, I'm like,
but I still don't get it.
I don't at all.
So Ghostbusters was an ancient artifact has released a chilling new entity, Garaka. He'll stop you cold. Only the Ghostbusters can keep you from getting iced. So there's a lot of ice stuff. The Weekend returns in a new haunted house spawned from After Hours, Dawn FM, and a horrifying new tale. Get ensnared. What a great word. By the most iconic moments inspired by his music videos and live performances. Now, what? Because did I have to do research beforehand?
Apparently. Or maybe we had to have seen the
I
first
have tried to watch some of the stuff, and I have zero fucking clue what's happening.
Yeah, none whatsoever. Just a bunch of the different weekends in different areas of age. Weight.
There was an old fucking
alien
frog.
It was just odd.
The one scare that got me actually came from there because I was looking this way and someone came down. Mm-hmm. There was someone above me, and I was like, oh no, it's the Weekend.
All right, so I have my bottom four, and yours were it was Terror Tram, Weekend,
and Ghostbusters. The other ones I really enjoyed.
Right. So everything above that, which again I enjoyed Terror Tram. Mm. So you gave those three. So then what's above those three that were the shittiest for you? I mean,
above them?
Yeah. So above Ghostbusters, Weekend, and Terror Tram. Okay,
then I would probably go. Because I don't know. I wish I could have watched my videos, but because I really want to see if those are bad or not. I guess maybe. Oh no, I kind of like that one. That one was good too. Probably Dead Exposure, Eternal, and then that's probably where I'd stop there. And then the other ones, like I like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the Legacy, but. There's a lot of chainsaws.
So I would say, so that's what, 9876. So fifth for me in that was Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Oh, that one says, Leatherface and his cannibalistic kin will lure you into their gore-filled slaughterhouse, fall victim to a gruesome origin story never seen on screen in the horror of 1974 movie's 50th anniversary. So with this one was the fact that we got different... Leatherfaces. Yeah. So we got different movies. We had different stories. So what they did was they combined something to make what was an original idea by them based off of all of the movies. So there was different eras. Yeah. It was like the Taylor Swift Eras tour for Leatherface. It was their different eras. Yeah. And then I did Eternal Bloodlines. Dead Exposure was in a top secret government facility where an experiment to create super soldiers has gone horribly wrong, turning people into radioactive zombies, and they escape just as you arrive. I'm just tired of zombies. Yeah. Now for a zombie retread, which there's been over and over and over, it wasn't awful. Actually, all of the top five are again relatively interchangeable. It wasn't like anything outstriped anything by a lot. There was not any clear like this is the absolute best one, in my opinion. Now, before we went, and which is funny because we went opening weekend, there were only 3 days that had happened before we went. Yeah. And all I saw was, oh my God, Insidious. And I think that overhyped it. So when I went through, I was just, and again, I'm assuming that some of the stuff and some of the scare actors were not in there because of how hot it was. So I'm giving a lot of leeway with that. But yeah. So above Texas Chainsaw Massacre was Monstrous. I thought the execution of that was really cool. It's a lot of the monsters from Latin American so
horror.
It's Monstros 2, the Nightmares of Latin America, which is resist the
resist the infernal ride El Charro, or he'll take your soul. Don't turn your back on the devil dog El Cadejo, or you'll be lost forever, and you better behave, or the boogeyman El Cucuy will get you.
The Cucuy.
I liked that one because it's an original idea. I mean, so was Dead Exposure and Eternal Bloodlines. Those were the originals, the IPs that they did. I like that one because that one's really cool, and it's gross.
Yeah, it was pretty gross.
It's gross in there.
It was very gross in there. And then like it's because it was like you're walking through all these like biohazard areas, and there's all this like skin melting shit. It was actually executed quite well.
Yeah, it's really done well.
I would say the top two were Insidious and Quiet Place.
I would agree with that.
And the thing
Quiet
that's crazy
Place
about
was
that,
terrifying.
the thing that's crazy about that was Quiet Place was more animatronic than scare actor.
Facts, yeah.
But it was still, and this is from someone who's fucking way behind on a lot of this shit, but I haven't seen a single one of the Quiet Place movies.
What?
So it was all new to me. I was like, I didn't know these motherfuckers look like that.
Oh yeah, they're scary looking.
Yeah, they're fairly terrifying visually.
What's cool about A Quiet Place is the whole time you're going through there's no one talking.
Yeah, it was. It
literally,
people, like even
they took it.
Not only the scare actors were they being very quiet, but even the people walking through
didn't want to make a sound.
Not making any noise.
I was trying not to scream because it says make a sound and you won't last long. Monstrous create what?
Did they mix two?
Monstrous creatures. I can't say monstrous.
Yes.
Monstrous
creatures.
I can't say that together. Monstrous creatures. Wow, that's hard. Will hunt you down as the world of the first two films comes to terrifying life, and it did. It was I did not. I was like, I was quiet.
Yeah, everybody was quiet in that bitch. It was pretty wild.
It was pretty neat. And then Insidious is Into the Further as demons try to ensnare you. Oh, I read that one. Oh no, I didn't.
No, you didn't.
They said ensnare twice in these.
I mean, it's a good word.
It is a good word. The red-faced demon will lure you into his lair. Key face will unlock your fears and more.
Yeah, so Insidious was definitely the one thing that everyone talked about was how long it was. That house was long as long.
I was like, "Are we getting out of here?"
It did. It went on for what felt like forever.
I think that video alone, is 9 minutes,
which is different for Horror Nights, because I will say that as far as the difference between Knott's and Horror Nights.
That's
is the length of the houses that you're going through. Horror Nights are always relatively I wouldn't say short, just they do their job in the time that you're in there. Whereas you go to some of the ones at Knott's, and there have been times where I'm like, we're not out yet. Like,
yeah.
So I will say that, but overall, I'm not the event overall was not bad. It wasn't the strongest year.
No.
And I said that it wasn't going to be. As soon as I'm sorry.
Usually
when they announce these houses for this, usually they come out of the gates with their strongest one. And it's usually an indication of how good the year is going to be. And the fact that fucking Ghostbusters was their first announcement, I was like, this isn't going to be a good one.
I'm really looking forward to that. I'm like, keep your mind open.
I stick by my opinion. It wasn't that great. I had a good time. I'm not saying I didn't enjoy myself. It just wasn't that great this year.
I think we should go on the last day.
You go ahead. You let me know how it goes.
No, I want you to go with me.
I'm not spending that money.
No.
That's too fucking expensive.
Well, let me see what the tickets cost, and then I'll get back to you on that.
An ass load of money.
That's fine. Just hold the fuck on.
So, that being said, then a couple of weeks later...
this part...
What? What?
I just have my opinions on it.
Now, we went to Knott's.
Mm-hmm. We sure did.
And
yet again,
this one,
same fucking houses.
Yeah, that they have definitely.
They need to fix
a dead
it.
Fucking horse.
Insidious was 9 minutes and 7 seconds long that I recorded.
Yeah.
And I can tell it's that one because it's red.
Now, Knott's still hasn't quite.
Do you want me to pull up that stuff too?
You don't have to. I wasn't necessarily going to go through them because A, we didn't go through all of them.
We got through most.
We went through a good chunk, but we didn't. We missed Grimoire.
Yeah, but we've done that one.
So I mean, even with not. So the only reason we went was because a group of people were going and they were taking all of their kids, which is an experience for me that I've never gone with children, like little kids. The first time I went to one of these, I was technically a kid. I was a teenager, but either way. But I've never gone as an adult with kids.
It was weird.
And I had a blast.
It was definitely, I had fun.
I had a blast.
It's just herding cats.
Well, yes, to a degree.
I'm the only person there without kids, too.
Well, that doesn't have them at all, yes. Because my kids weren't there.
I'm trying to find
but it was on one end, it was funny for me because my kids weren't there. So I was like, I don't have to wrangle any of these fucking kids. But because I am a parent, it still was in the back of my head like, oh, do we have all the kids with us?
Yeah, it was like a lot of it was like, do we have everybody?
It was still in there, which is because there was like 20 of us, which is the biggest group I've ever gone with.
Yeah.
Grand total. But the closest that I came to it was the one year that we went, there was like 13 of us.
Literally they only had 2 different mazes, which was Widows and 8 Fingers 9, the Boogeyman, which were pretty cool.
Both of them were actually really, really good. I will give them that.
Literally, the only one we missed was the Grimoire.
Yeah. Okay. See, I thought we missed 2.
We went, room 13.
Yeah, we did room 13.
Cinema Slasher.
We did that.
And the Chilling Chambers.
Yep. Okay. I don't know why I thought we missed 2. We only missed Grimoire,
because Chilling Chambers is... No. Yeah, that's the Cathedral one. Cinema Slasher, room 13, the Grimoire. There's not one of them is not listed here. Which is...
Mesmer.
Yeah. How you gonna tell me what the fucking shit is and then leave that one out?
They came back. Too many of their houses came back.
Okay? It's always...
Too fucking many.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The fucking Bloodline one, that one left last year and then came back. And it was the same fucking house. That is the first time I've ever seen them do that. Granted, there were years that I've missed.
Oh, that's right.
But it left and came back.
And then came back without as much fun.
Yeah.
Because you can't
But it
shoot
was
things.
the same thing.
I'm getting out of that.
It was the same thing. So, I mean, on the... like the houses, the mazes, whatever the fuck they call them there. Yeah, not great. But I had a fucking blast there just because having a bigger group always has been more fun for me. If they're all fun, I guess I should say that. And everybody that went was a lot of fun.
They were, yeah.
They all contributed, had a good time. I mean, some people were quieter than others, which is saying a lot considering the group of people that there were there. We're already loud as it is just by ourselves. Then you add more people that also had the, ability and tendency to do that. So, but the, the one experience I took away from that trip is I discovered that sometimes you should listen to bartenders. So we're a fucking buttload of adults there, so there's booze involved. And so I had bought like one drink, which is...
Sorry.
It's like, what the fuck? When did a zombie get in here?
YouTube popped up and then it accidentally... I was trying to get to my phone, but...
But no, I bought like the one drink and a water. I wasn't driving, she was, so it's not like it mattered if I got shit faced, but I was like, I'll just get this. And then we walk up and we go to another bar, and oddly enough, Shannon was like, oh, you want a drink? I was like, yeah. We walk up to the bar and they have the lineup, right, of all the shit.
Should have went back to that bar we started with.
I did go back to it. The beers, the seltzers, all that shit.
Because that lady would give me drinks.
Yeah. But then they had, which I had seen them before, but I didn't know they were booze. But there was a thing there called the Beatbox.
I could not believe it.
Bitch, when do I drink?
Where did I pull this from?
I don't know.
Yeah, I remember now.
So I'm just like, what the fuck's a beatbox?
I was like, it'll get you drunk.
Not even the bartender helping us. The one next to him goes, "Oh, that's bad decisions in a box." I was like, "Fucking sold. Give me one." So I took that. Now, I had one drink and a water. Like, I had the drink and the water, and we ate like an hour before that. So I was, even though I'm a massive fucking lightweight these days, and I'm happy for that fact.
I thought you were going to say a massive person. I am a lightweight.
No, I'm just also a massive lightweight. I'm fine with getting shit-faced quick, but I drank the drink, and I'm halfway through it, and I can feel it's working. Like, the first sign for me that I'm tiptoeing towards drunk is I can't feel my back teeth. I was halfway through that first drink, and I couldn't feel my back teeth anymore. I don't know why that's the sign, but that's the fucking sign.
Can you normally feel your back teeth?
Yes.
Like with your tongue? Is that what you're saying?
Like, you know when something goes numb that's normally not numb?
Sure.
That's that. That's the feeling. It's not fully numb, but it's like, yeah, losing sensation to a degree.
Okay.
That's always been the first sign of me getting drunk. As long as I've been drinking, that's when I'm like, oh, I'm about to be fucked up. So we get those drinks. We walk down Fog Alley. I polished off the drink going down Fog Alley. And the group stops to get funnel cakes, right? So they're stopping to eat funnel cakes right next to one of my favorite parts in this whole event. I will literally just go play in Fog Alley. I have a blast doing that. So I'm not realizing that this shit is coursing through my system way more effectively than pretty much anything else. And so I'm like going through Fog Alley, having a good time, coming back. I'm running up on people in our group and scaring the shit out of them when I get the chance. And yeah, I realize I'm one sip away from fully fucked up. And so I'm like, I just remember sitting there debating because I haven't been fully fucked up in a long time. And I'm like, okay, not that I get hangovers or anything. I'm just like, do I want to? And I don't know why, but I was just like, yeah, my brain was like, yeah, you do. So I'm like, all right, fuck it. So I find one of the people that we went with. I was like, I want to go get another drink. Do you want one? So she asked me to help her polish her drink off. I was like, fuck it. People started handing me drinks. I'm like, I'm not going to be the booze dumpster. Calm down. And I wasn't.
We tried.
I wasn't, but they did try. So then I go and get another one, and I drank that one. And I was steadily drunk.
For a while.
For 3 fucking hours.
Oh, well.
On those 2 drinks alone. I'm not counting the first one, because I didn't feel shit after that.
He walked up giggling at me. He goes, I'm
so fucked
up right now. And I was like, yeah, you are. Yep. I guess it's my turn to watch you. Nah, this is payback for all those years I did it to you.
How was it payback?
Because I've done it to you numerous times.
I know, but you're never like
No, don't go there.
There's been a couple times you've been dropped off to me in a certain condition.
On the doorstep.
Not that I minded. I'm just saying.
I had to sleep somewhere.
But as far as like being a downer, no.
Nope, isn't that too?
I'm just saying in that situation.
No, yeah.
Like when we were together and I was there with you for the entire journey too fucked up? No.
Yeah.
No, it's never been a bad thing. So I don't know why you say payback, but
well, because I've done it so many times.
I don't know if you just mean it was fun for you to watch me be a fucking idiot.
Was you weren't even that bad.
I really wasn't, and I was actually shocked. But so it was funny. What kids usually migrate to me anyway.
Oh God, because you're so large. You're a tall man.
And then add into the fact that right before we went in, we're all gathering so they can take a group picture, and
we were already in the park.
We were. We beat everybody because we're fucking vets to this shit. So we're like, all right, boom, here inside, and so we're like, all right, we'll wait for everyone to get in. They decided to wait out there for everyone to gather before coming in, but no big deal. They come in, we all gather in the front, we take the picture, whatever. So I started messing with the kids. Like, they took a picture of the kids. I jump scared them right before they took the picture. They caught that. Only one of the kids was genuinely getting the shit scared out of her.
She had no boo necklace.
Which I will give her credit. She nutted up real quick and took that thing off.
Well,
granted, people were giving her a hard time for a very...
Maybe gave her a hard time. Yeah. Not people. It was definitely us.
It's true. On top of the fact that it kind of defeats the purpose if you're going to go in the mazes, because you have to
Doesn't
turn
do
it off
anything.
when you go in the mazes. It's just in the scare zones. But I will give her massive credit. She
did good.
She did well. She did very
had
well. She got scared, but it wasn't like we got to go home type scared. She eventually got over it and started enjoying it. But what was super funny about that to me is, in that, like, I ended up two or three of the kids I ended up like picking up over my head in the front.
Which they thought was hilarious.
So
I'm like, dude, might me next.
So after, like, I think it was like by the third house we're going into there, and the kid who's getting the most scared then decides to say, you know what, Mom, I appreciate you. I'm gonna go hold that big dude's hand.
Yeah,
so she ended up holding my hand through like half of the houses from that point forward, which I thought was super funny. But that was also the other part that was like the barometer for me. Even though I was drunk, I wasn't like stupid drunk. I was drunk enough to have a good time and not feel any pain, which was fantastic.
Very true.
But I wasn't like into the steps of, I'm going to make bad decisions. They were, don't get me wrong, they were bouncing around up there, but I didn't act on any of them. But I knew I was cool because the kids were still like, oh, I'm going to hang around you. I was like, oh, good. But there were points in there I was like, oh, I'm so fucked up. Like, when you start talking to yourself, like, that's where I was.
Oh, God. I didn't know that part.
Like, where you're just like, all right, keep it cool, man. You're good.
Fucking Jesus.
You don't, like, just remember.
Just have an internal monologue.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh, I mean, I do that anyway, but it's even worse when
That's
I'm fucking,
different.
when
That's
I'm
a different
fucking
monologue. That's interesting.
I mean, I had a good time, but from this point forward, I swear to God, I'm just going to drink beatboxes if I want to get fucked up. It was so
got a
good.
bunch in the fridge.
On top of the fact that they're only like $3, which is nuts, because they're like 20 at the theme park, but that's booze in general anyway. But yeah, I found a fucking pallet of them at Winco for like $3 each. Wow. I didn't buy any because, but
you don't need those kind of problems in your life.
It's not that I need those kind of problems. I just don't want to turn to that.
Oh, okay.
Outside of socially. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got you.
I don't want to drink at home alone. That's what that is.
There's nothing wrong with that, dude.
I mean, to each his own. I'm just not that guy.
That's true. Lame.
Say what you will.
I mean, it was fun. I've never gone with kids before, so it was wild, but I had fun still.
Yeah.
I'm tired of. The reason I hate on that place so much is the fact that they do the same thing every year. Mix it up.
Which it's gotten worse because when we were going all the time, they had houses and at most 3 maybe.
Yeah.
But they had houses that had good like solid runs, so like 2-3 years tops, and then they would rotate them out.
Like, God.
Which not necessarily a bad thing when they were good houses, because that was usually the case. It was like, these were the best houses from the year. All right, we'll run them back again. But even in that case, they would still alter little things. Like, it wouldn't be just, hey, you remember when you did this last year? Here it is again.
Yeah.
They would alter little details. They would change, they would change the way you go through it. They would change scenes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it'd be the same house, the same story, but they would, move bits and pieces around.
Yeah.
And clearly the people that run those things and, the people that think of all of this stuff, it's clearly gone through some changes through the years, which is bound to happen.
Right.
But ultimately, it's one of those things where at this point, I'm really only going to go to Knott's if a group of people say, hey, we're going to Knott's and we want you to go with. Then I'll join because I'll still have a good time. But I really did have a great time that night. And it was a different thing having kids there and seeing, and all of those kids were, honestly, they took it like champs. And
They did
none of them
well.
really got genuinely scared. I thought it was going to be, people were going to have to dip out soon.
Like,
there were people going to be crying.
Because we even told them, like, hey, we're not fucking leaving. We're doing this.
Yeah. So, I mean, I expected it to be a different experience. And all of those, all of those kids did well. All of the, new people that we met, they were great.
Yeah.
I mean, met in person.
We play video games.
A good chunk of those people we play video games with. So it's not like.
Two of them. Well, 3, because Miguel.
Yeah. So I'm like, there's a few of those people that we play games with, so we know them, we just hadn't met them yet.
We just never met them.
So that was
cool.
That was fun. Like, we were joking about, like, we were the first people there where we were all meeting up, which was In-N-Out, and we were like, how are they going to know us?
How are we going to know what they look like?
They haven't seen us before. I mean, what are we going to just bust fucking Fortnite dances in front of the In-N-Out and see what happens?
Yeah. Just awesome.
I was going to bust the shimmy. That's
Low taper fade. He swears like that's still huge.
Whatever.
But yeah, it was fun. I had more fun at Horror Nights though.
Yeah, I mean, in the aspect of the scary shit.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
It's more scary.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was a good time.
But it was good.
All around.
I had a good time.
But yeah, so that's pretty much all
I'm trying to see if we have footage of this stuff.
I
don't think we
there
have
is
anything
video
worth
out there.
it.
We just it was hot.
It was hot.
It was so goddamn
I just
hot.
got to figure out if I have a low light mode. That's or if I can edit it.
We
low
recorded
light.
some things. We didn't record a lot.
I recorded every house.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, usually we record in between. We record scare zones. We record a lot of different stuff. We didn't really record a lot.
I think I have some scare zone stuff. I don't think I have a lot. Dude, what sucked is they didn't have any Death Eaters this year.
Yeah, that's true. Though, again, I don't know I can't recall walking through there. No, yeah, I guess a couple years ago they did. I know last year but that was Florida. But I guess a couple years ago they did in that area when we walked through. I just can't recall because every time I think about it, I think about Florida.
No, they did.
So,
because that was the year that they did before, because there was that year that I was talking to one and then another one came up behind me.
Right.
And that was before we went to Florida. Because that was just me and you.
It was a
lot of it's usually just me and you.
Oh, yeah, very true. And then that's the other thing too. Is it's like I know they wouldn't have cared, but I always think twice about recording for this and then having other people in it. Not that they care. They were in intro video.
For Knots, we didn't want to put.
Well, no, we didn't record Knots because the kids were there. So that was the big reason why we didn't record anything there.
We just were like, you know what, best to not.
Yeah, son of a bitch! I just realized something. Oh, maybe that's tomorrow. I think they said the 28th.
Today's the 27th.
I know. I'm trying to remember. I just thought about Comic-Con. We were talking about going. I think the tickets go on sale tomorrow.
What?
I think that's what it says. I think that's what it says.
For
I really want to go.
For which one?
For San Diego.
Oh.
I'd have to look at my emails, which I need. I don't need that for it, but it's easier there than trying to pull it up here.
I hear you.
But that right there, the thing that's recording.
I had a great time.
Yeah, it was a good time. For the people that invited us, I guess, to this, thank you. I had a great time.
We had a good time with
it was fantastic, and they kept saying that they were going to do it every year now. So I guess
I'm trying to convince them to go to Horror Nights. If you really want to test your children,
right? But I think that's part of why I'm like, maybe it's better they don't.
Yeah, you said next year you're going to take your kid.
I if he can keep his ass awake. That kid 7:30 and he's ready to fucking pass out.
Well, then he takes a nap before we go.
Yeah, if you leave him somewhere quiet enough where he's not engaged in whatever he's
just slumped.
You can literally call out his name past 7:30 and you don't hear anything. And like, oh, he's passed the fuck out. But no, I do after, and I think he'd handle it just as well as they did. So after that experience, I'm like, all right, I could do that. Which ultimately, I mean, I was already thinking about doing it next year anyway.
Yeah.
But after that grouping of going, I'm just like, all right, I guess it's time to
just make him take a nap.
Well, that, and then I have to dose his ass with melatonin. Like, here, chew this gummy, go to sleep, and then you'll be ready to go. Which, honestly, at this point, I might have to do the same damn thing.
Well, I know I was tired after all that shit, though.
Oh, I was, dude.
You fell asleep in the car and I was like, this motherfucker.
Bitch, yeah, I was game over. Sorry.
I was so fucking tired.
I stayed up late on fucking Fortnite with you guys the night before, hoping I would actually sleep in, and that did not happen. There was no one in my house. Did not happen.
Yeah,
I went to bed at 1:30 in the morning. 6 o'clock, my ass was wide awake.
Well, I can sleep.
And
I did it today.
Game fucking over. So
I did it today.
I know you did. Yeah, it was game fucking over. So that I had to mainline an energy drink both before, because I did the same shit for Horror Nights. I had to mainline an energy drink for both to function.
Now that place is where all of us got a little toasty.
Yes.
Before we went in the park.
Yes. Oh man.
Those were good.
Those
drinks.
were good fucking drinks.
I want some swamp water.
Yeah.
Get you a swamp water if you go to
that shit
City
was
Walk.
dangerous.
And you go into
if I had had a third one, I would have been
the sports
way worse.
bar. And I don't remember what it's called.
No.
NBC Sports Bar? I don't know.
Yes, I think that's it. Either way. Yeah, they had a really good drink though. We were toasty as shit sitting in that restaurant.
I knew they were happy when we left. We were giggling and having a good old time.
We were pissing off the people behind us. It was
Fuck
great.
those people.
Listen, you know I don't give a
Fuck
shit.
your couch, bitch.
You know I don't give a single solitary fuck.
I didn't give a shit either.
But yeah, it was a good time. Now, as I said, I'm gonna stop making mistakes or excuses, not mistakes. I'll keep making mistakes.
Go ahead.
I'll keep doing that for the rest of my fucking life. Oof. That's a you know
That's can of worms.
listen, the day that I can really just let loose on this shit.
Go ahead.
I'm
waiting.
That's gonna be a dangerous one.
You go ahead and say it with your whole chest.
No, because I'm not going down that fucking road by myself.
Oh, yeah, you are.
I'm not doing it. And you don't like talking about emotional shit. So
keep it light.
I won't hesitate to talk. But keep it light my ass. We've had a couple of emotional episodes already. I'm not even talking about just that one. We've talked about some pretty in-depth shit before. Maybe that would actually help some of your shit.
Nah.
You could process it instead of
That's
just
what
holding
I got a therapist for.
Yeah, I don't pay for that. I just do it on here.
I didn't pay for it either. My company did. That's funny.
Yeah. After this week, it's all right there. I really want to, but I'm not going to.
That's a different episode.
I actually made a joke that's not a joke. I said the first time that I record on this, after a potentially
be careful
thing, that's going to be real interesting.
Oh boy. I'm going to sit here quietly with popcorn. I'll tell you that.
I'd rather not. It can't just be me talking through the whole thing.
Oh boy. Well, it will be, and then I'll just put a Jenga on top of that shit.
I'm good. Mm-hmm. This shit ain't gonna be one-sided. I ain't doing that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the thing about that, you say that you have a lot to say about that too.
I do. That's why I said I'll wait here to let you get it off your chest, and then I'll put a Jenga on it.
Don't sit up here and act like you're not going to have shit to say through that
Jengas on it.
That entire process. You're going to have.
I will fill in.
You're going to salt bay the shit out of that.
I will put the edges of the puzzle together. You can fill it in. Okay.
I'm just saying.
I know. Oh boy, what a time that would be.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think you can wait for it either.
I'll say this shit right now. I don't give a fuck. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me.
You're right.
I'm just the innocent bystander. I'm not.
I want to say something so bad.
I'm not the problem.
I want to say something so bad right now, but it's just going to lay it all out if I do.
You fuck around, you'll find out.
Fuck around, you'll find out.
It's not me that's got to deal with it. There will be no repercussions.
Again, I have a response, but I can't say it.
Well, we've already said too much. We've already said too much. For once, we have already said too much.
12 people listen to this. It ain't gonna matter.
Hopefully that ain't one of them.
Hasn't happened yet, so I ain't worried about it.
Wow, way to support us.
Right? Yeah, so.
I guess we can talk shit then.
A little bit, yeah. You technically could.
You have to worry about the other... Oh, because I can't go too far.
Right.
But I'm saying it with my eyes.
Yeah, I got you.
The call is coming from inside the house.
For now. So, yeah.
I like that movie, by the way.
Shit. Well, go Dodgers.
Go Dodgers.
Because I don't have a team, but I support my friend.
That's right. You don't have a team.
I don't.
You have one. You're guilty by association.
Well, that's fair. I've had a lot of people say that to me. Oh, you support this team now. Whatever you say.
We're going to New York now. We're moving out of LA. We're going to New York.
Yeah, that was a hell of a nail biter, that first game, though.
The first two were pretty good so far.
I actually, it's funny because I actually wanted to watch the second game.
Did you not?
I don't have any of that shit at home.
Just download Fox Sports.
They want you to fucking sign into cable.
Oh, well, I have that.
Yeah,
Over there, I do.
I don't. So
ESPN Plus.
I've just come to.
Oh no! Wait, there's multiple
it's
places
literally
you can
on
watch
Fox.
it.
That's the only place that's streaming it.
But it's the World Series, so you should be able to find it more places.
Yeah. I could always just come to your house and watch it.
I guess. If I'm here.
If you're here. It doesn't matter if you're here. I have a key.
God.
What? You act like I'm going to do something fucked up in your house.
No, just not many people know that.
Does it matter? What do you think? They're going to jump me?
No. Just watch for the coyotes. They've been out lately.
I'm just saying. I know I almost ran over one after I dropped you off after Horror Nights. 2. I take that back 2.
Oh, they were in a... Yeah. That means there was more floating around.
Oh, for sure.
Lately, I've just seen one of them.
Yeah, no.
I named him Harry.
I saw 3 for
Harry
sure.
just be roaming around.
But I almost hit 2.
I also have 2 cats that just roam around my house now. One of them's got huge balls.
Yeah, because someone fed it.
Mom.
There you go.
Do you know
Once
what, though?
you feed one of those
you know
fucking
what,
things.
Though? That motherfucker's been attacking squirrels.
Well,
so
there you go.
keep feeding them.
Yeah. I mean,
He
they
got
are
big
good.
old balls, too. That motherfucker ain't scared as shit. He followed me home.
It's a big fucking squirrel.
He followed me home and was peeking through my window.
At least he wasn't rubbing his balls on it.
Thank God, but he was teabagging Michael Myers.
She sent us a picture of the cat's balls. It was actually pretty
They're
funny.
huge. Whose big bald cat is this? Is what I said.
They are rather large testicles.
I literally told my mom that. Whose big bald cat is this?
Oh, shit.
She's like, don't worry, he's just been roaming around. I don't know why I made her 95, but I did. And then there's an orange one, too.
I don't know, honey. She's
so frail.
gotta walk her now. And I don't know why she's southern when I do it.
That's different. I don't understand what's happening anymore.
I didn't even realize I could hit that octave, to be honest with you. To go from this to, how you doing?
Howdy ho.
Howdy ho. Ooh, wee.
My mom went from Mr. Meeseeks
To Mr. Poopy Butthole.
to Mr. Poopy Butthole to fucking...
Mr. Hanky, by the way. You said Mr. Meeseeks. I'm just going to throw that out there.
But then you went into Mr. Meeseeks, I thought.
Know. It is what it is.
No, she's all 3.
I love your mom.
She's great people, you know?
Yeah.
She don't care about big bald cats. She likes them.
That's why she feeds it. No, it's good to keep the stray cat around to deal with rodents if you got them. So,
Yeah, because the 2 that they got are fucking so domesticated, they're afraid to be outside. Fucking losers. Stupid ass cats.
Shit.
I want a dog.
I thought you... No.
I
guess
don't
you
have a dog.
Yeah, I mean, you have all of the accoutrement, but...
That's because the dog comes and visits me every once in a while. I get doggy play dates.
You get the dog on the weekends.
Yeah. Only
The
certain
custody
ones.
agreement is worked out in such
It's
a way.
not even... It's fucking terrible.
Oh, God
Not home enough.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, that's it for us today.
That's it. That's
This
it. I
has
ain't got
gone long
shit else.
enough.
I ain't got shit else before. So get this shit over with before something else gets said.
Yeah, we're walking a
getting
very
real
veil.
tight line.
The veil is lifting.
Super thin. So thanks for watching. If you're watching, thanks for
I'll
listening.
figure out the
If you're
video
listening,
stuff. You guys want to watch just videos in the dark?
we
You can.
we will figure out a recording schedule. We've talked about it. We just have to nail that down between our work schedules and everything else. We got really, I don't know, I think we got in the habit of doing it in certain days, and then when that went away, we just really fucked up. So we'll do better. I swear.
Well, we said that
I get
before.
yelled at by the 2 people that listen, so we'll do
Who is it? Name him. Name him. Who is it?
well, Jess, and then Liz started listening recently.
Fuck them
so
people.
both of them. Well, okay. Well, you see how she feels. Just saying.
Just kidding.
I know. But yeah, thanks, guys.
You come fucking do this. It's so goddamn easy. Start your own. See how hard it is to schedule shit.
See how she feels. This is why we don't record, because she's angry.
Just an angry black woman in America.
Yes, 100%. It's like a diary of a mad black woman over here. If we can call it a po-po-ho. All right, so that's it for us. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
I know crazy.
What she said.
Bye.
Bye.